Okay, good morning. Good morning. I'm Stefana. Welcome back to another Monday morning mentoring. If you're watching live, be sure you put live in the chat. And if you're watching the replay, put replay. Let me know that you've been here. So today I'm going to explore something that plays a huge role in how you feel, in how you function throughout the day, and ultimately your results. And it's something that doesn't get a lot of attention. And I believe really it is one of the most important factors that separates people who actually do reach their goals and who maintain their goals, whether it's in fitness or health or weight loss goals, or even in their business goals. And it separates those who really struggle with those who are able to maintain the day in, day out, persistent, diligent practice of leading their best life and showing up as the best version of themselves. And what that is being mindful, being present. And I'm gonna outline exactly what I'm talking about here and what I mean by this in this video. But if this is the first time we're meeting, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Stefana Johnson, and I am a corrective exercise specialist, a certified holistic health practitioner, and a certified holistic business coach, among 70 other certifications over the last 30 years that I've invested in my education and bringing my experience to clients that are entrepreneurs and business owners, high achieving folks that are out there making profound positive impact, or who want to make a really positive, profound impact in their lives and in their businesses. And I really love facilitating radical positive transformation for those out there. I know the body inside and out. I know the health aspect of it, and I know how much the mindset really impacts your performance and your bottom line and the results that you get. And so this whole month of November, I'm focusing on mindset because I think it is so important. It is just as important. We just came off of a month of doing mobility, and mobility and getting up and moving is really important. But you know what? If you don't get your mindset right, you won't get up out of your seat. You won't shut that computer off, or you won't put that smartphone down so that you can restore, replenish, revitalize, so that you have what you need to wake up and be innovative and creative to your business, and to be present to your business and to your clients and to what you're here to do. And so this month is what I'm going to focus on, this mindfulness piece. We're going to dive a little bit deeper on it because I actually have written a book specifically on this topic. It originally was Peace Doesn't Come in a Pill. It's my Pilot Your Way method. I've spoke on this a lot, and it's an acronym as well as an analogy that we are all in flight. We are all going in a direction. It may not be in the direction that you want to go. And if you are not present, that's the P for the Pilot Your Way. If you are not present to your life, a lot of times folks are not, you don't even know what you're putting in your mouth. You don't even know. It's like, you get to the end of the day and you have no idea if you've taken a poop. You have no idea if you had any water. You have no idea what you ate. You have no idea what decisions you've made. And that's a problem. That is a huge problem. So this month, I really want to challenge you to take a look at this with me. And I'm going to give you some very specific tools to utilize, and I'm going to teach a masterclass on this. So stay with me. I'm going to give you something specific to work on this week. I love doing that in the Monday morning mentorings, so that this week you have something as kind of a guiding compass for your week on what you can actually implement today. Because being more mindful absolutely boosts your results, not just with your exercise, not just with your movement, but it definitely can help make it easier when making choices of how you eat in your nutrition, just everyday choices there. In fact, I don't put people on diets. That's the last thing I would do, especially with everybody on yo-yo diets. You know, the percentage is like the average American has been on 8 diets. So we know those are failures. Just stop, right? It's about being present. And if I can give you that one piece right there, that's like a key right there. Okay. And it also improves your day-to-day happiness, being present, being mindful. Okay. And it really plays a huge role in your long-term health. There's so much that ties into that, and we'll go deeper into that as we go through and unfold this month. But it's because being present and being mindful, we'll let those be interchangeable. You are making intentional and deliberate choices. And when you are more intentional and those intentions are aligned with your virtues and your values, and your actions are not on autopilot or someone else's autopilot, right? That's usually what happens, is that when you're not being mindful, you're basically running on autopilot. You're in that mode of letting habits, and maybe poor habits, guide your life. And if that's running your life, a lot of times, you just are on this habit rat race, a wheel of like, okay, well, that's just what everybody's done. That's just what I need to do. And you don't even think it through. This is a really crucial moment where you're just like, okay, wait a minute. And it's a practice. It's something that you have to practice and take a moment every day to actually intentionally shift that and flip the switch on the autopilot that's going to run that habit. Oh, well, always every day at 3:00, I go get that coffee and cookie because my energy drops and I need the coffee. But is that a habit that's just in place that's actually compounding issues of, well, now you're not going to sleep well, or then sleep compounding problem there. And then with the cookie, then your insulin spikes and then the extra weight, et cetera. You see how that kind of nests itself into this insidious situation when we lose sight of one very simple thing, and that is coming back to the present moment and being mindful. And it optimizes your success when you can come back and realign. And there are days literally where I have to check in with myself every moment because maybe the stress is higher. And so that's just easier. But I'll give you a secret here. When the stress is really, really high, that's when you should be even more vigilant at being present. That's when you want to be really focused on, do I even make a decision when I'm in this high stress state? Because it may not be the most optimal decision. So you just, you make sure, come back to the moment and become present. So it's a simple concept, but it definitely doesn't mean it's easy. I think this is probably one of the biggest struggles for everyone. I know I do struggle with it. And the more I practice it, the easier it does get. And the faster I get at coming back to the present and being more mindful. But I will tell you, even when we're doing movements, years and years and years ago, I stopped having music in my classes because I noticed people would go off on the rhythm, or they would just do something arbitrarily at a tempo that was not really optimized. It was on borderline dangerous, right? And I'll hear people and I'll observe people in a gym situation, and they're just hitting it really hard, but they're not present because they're in their head, either listening to maybe some music or a podcast, but they're not even aware of their body and the body's movement. And so I say, really just unplug all the other noise and get into your body and get present. And doing something like a pull-up or a push-up can be transformed when you are present to the scapular muscles and to where your head is in alignment, and you start to become aware. And what that can do for your brain and the health of your brain and your body's connections is profound. There's significant science on this. And I'm in a master's program right now on applied movement neurology, and it's significant in what this being present to your movement can do for your performance. yes, physical with athletes and Olympians, but also with entrepreneurs and executives and busy professionals who have to have their brain firing on all cylinders and really need that ability to be present and to be not reactive, not you want to be responsive, but not reactive, right? So when you're able to do that and be present to your movement, that your movements are that much more effective, and you don't have to go and pound your body for an hour in the gym. When you do just, I say 11 minutes, right? 11, 12 minutes a day of very focused, mindful movement can transform your body. So these are just the nuggets, these are just these nuggets that I love when you're eating. In fact, whatever you're eating, it doesn't matter. Don't judge it. Be present to it, though. Taste your food, savor it. Really feel and note how you are feeling when you do eat this. Notice, you might even start to notice how, oh my gosh, something happens in my mouth where I feel the enzymes. I wonder if even people are aware of that. You wouldn't be if you're not fully present. But the moment you become present and recognize that, and you can feel this salivation, the glands start to operate, and you recognize, oh my goodness, look at the process. This is magnificent. This is a miracle. My body's process of digestion and breath, and you recognize what a miracle you are, what a miracle your body is. And it just levels you up in such big ways, right? So one of the things with life, and I've noticed a lot over the last year and a half with the culture and the global issues that are going on and what we're seeing, that it's not always, for me, for sure, it is a practice, a daily practice, because I want to keep abreast of what's going on and understand and educate myself on what's going on, not just in the health realm, but in science, and really look at, the global economy and what's going on, and really understand. I want to stay educated, but it can lead to this hyper intense worry, where I'm thinking about the future and I'm thinking about my kids' future. And I wonder if this happens with you as well, where you might be thinking, what if? What if this, especially if you're a business owner? There's so many what ifs. And what that does is it throws our mind into a race of worry and stress and things that our thoughts can start to get lost in that. And what happened yesterday or what's going to happen in 5 years from now can throw us into a topsy-turvy sensation where our performance is diminished. And so using the tool of being mindful and coming back to the present helps so much to come back to what you are here to do. It's not that we don't plan for the future or even think in future. It's in fact a big part of what I'm doing, what I do with coaching my clients, is looking at lifetime. What is your legacy, and creating and reverse engineering from there. But it has to come back to this present, being mindful to your life in this moment. And so if you give that a try this week, see for yourself, just taking that moment to be more mindful, to be more present, whatever movement you decide to do, whatever food you sit down to eat, whatever conversation you're having whenever you're with someone, especially if you're with children, maybe your own children, your grandchildren, or to give them that moment and to be so present with them, with your breath and with just that mindfulness is a powerful gift you can give to yourself, but also to the person you're with in that moment, to your beloved. Wow, what an amazing gift, right? To be so present. And then practicing it even in the mundane exercises of being present to washing the dishes, going shopping, or when you're grocery shopping, sometimes you just go through the motions. I got to get out of the store. But what if you were so present to that when you're driving, when you are doing those mundane exercises and mundane actions, day-to-day life, and you become so present to them. Just focusing on that presence. Even if it's just a 30-second moment of being so present, it's powerful. It's incredibly powerful. And I just hope that you will try that this week. I think that if I could mentor the world and say, if there was one thing that you could do and focus on this week, and being present and just coming into this moment of presence, being mindful in the moment, that would be it. That would be it. So, and it's not about being perfect. It's not about getting it right all the time. I've been doing this for a very long time, and every day is a practice. Sometimes it's easier. Some days it's a big struggle. So no one is 100% mindful all the time. That's for sure. So if you are a very driven person, you're like, well, I'm going to be 100%. It's like, nobody's 100%. I don't think even somebody who's that's all their life is just to be a mindful monk and meditate. You can't. We're human. And so understanding that, bringing some compassion to yourself and to your moments, and just starting with something just a little bit every day, I think can make a very, very big difference. And I'm curious if you have your own mindfulness practice. Do you have something that you do that is, I have people that I know that will knit, and they're very present when they knit. And it's very therapeutic for them. And I love that. I mean, just being present and in that moment. And I love that. So that's simple practices. So I'm curious as to what you may try. Maybe it's gardening. Maybe, I would love to know. Maybe it's drawing mandalas. I'd love to see in the chat if you can share with me what's a mindfulness practice that you do. And again, I'll be sharing more about this with the masterclass that I'm doing on the mindfulness. And I'm going to do that on the 11th of November. 11/11. 11 is a really special number, and I'll tell you about that on the 11th. So if you want to sign up for that, you can go to stefanajohnson.com or you can go to stefanajohnson.com and you can sign up for that and try that out. Do comment, let me know how is mindfulness showing up for you? And if you try just a couple of these, does it make a difference? All right. So until next time, have an amazing week. Create and be mindful, present to your beautiful life. Until next time.